cold out. It's 36 degrees Fahrenheit, and we have left our house, and we have 37 miles of range remaining and 58% state of charge. People tell me that my wife Kate should be on camera more often. This is my wife Kate. She drives from our house into central Portland every day and back, and she just told me you have to get to the office with 65% state of charge remaining, right? Before they will let you, you have to have 65% state of charge when you get to the office in order to be able to make it home safely, correct? And that's because we've lost 2 capacity bars. We're probably going to lose our 3rd soon. And you also said something really interesting just now, which was if you could buy a brand new battery pack for this car from Nissan for what? We said $4,000?
Yeah.
About $4,000. You'd be happy to keep this car for another 100,000 miles.
It's a great car. Its battery is its weak point.
Okay, so she said it's a great car, the battery is its weak point. We've done 91,372 miles. That's a lot more than the original mileage that we bought the car with. I think we bought the car with 35,000 miles. But here's the thing. Nissan charges $8,500 for a replacement battery for this car, which means that the Nissan LEAF is throwaway. The Nissan LEAF does not have active thermally cooled battery packs. This has the cold winter package, so it has a heater to heat up the battery pack in the winter if it's really cold, but it doesn't kick in unless the battery is under, like, I think it's 5 or 10 degrees Fahrenheit, so well below freezing point.
Well, let's be clear here. The car isn't throwaway. It's still a good car. It's just not economically viable to do that.
Right. And my wife does 50 miles a day commuting, that is unusual in the United States. It's unusual in most of the world. Most people live closer than 25 miles away from work, and I will acknowledge that, you know, she and I have made a decision to live in the country.
I have needs.
My wife has needs. And it means that, you know, we can't easily use this car beyond just commuting to and from work. Now, earlier this summer we did an 80,000 mile update, and the car was doing a lot better because it was still warm and you didn't need to use the heating. But it's now got to the point where my wife is not using the heating she just told me she's not using the heating to get to work. She preconditions the car, turns the heating on when the car is still plugged in, and then doesn't turn it back on again. And then in the evening she'll turn the heating on to warm the car up and then turn it off. No, she doesn't even turn the heating on in the evening. And so we are now investigating a replacement, but we're not going to be buying a brand new car because our budget priorities are different, and Mount Hood is looking so beautiful over there. We have different priorities when it comes to cars. We choose to live out in the country. We choose to spend our money in different parts of our life. And so we want a very perfunctory car that's not super, super expensive. So we are looking at used electric cars. But I think it's fair to say that this will be the last Nissan EV we buy unless they fix the battery pack problems.
Yeah, nothing bad on Nissan when they brought the car out. It was a really great effort at an electric car. But what they found, of course, is the battery pack has some problems in extremes of climate, and as you near 100,000 miles, as we're doing in this car, it can develop problems just like every other lithium-ion battery that you regularly charge up to full and run down to zero.
Every battery that doesn't have thermal battery management.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. So My Bolt doesn't have any of these issues because it has a thermally managed battery pack. Most of the Teslas that I know of don't have this problem because they have a thermally managed battery pack. So essentially, if you have a car that has a liquid cooling system that keeps the battery warm in the winter and cool in the summer, you don't suffer from this. But Nissan decided not to do that with the early Leafs and now with the newer Leafs as well. And while it would be great to spend $8,500 on a replacement battery pack for this car, that's just not economically viable. The value of this car right now, if we were to sell this car today, it would be worth $5,000, $5,000 or $6,000. Maybe. And so you'd be putting $8,500 into a $5,000 or $6,000 car. It's not economically viable. Does that mean that every electric car is going to have these problems? Absolutely not. This only seems to be a problem with Nissans right now. And if you have a short commute, i.e. you're going to be doing 30-mile commutes every day, this would still be a great car, right? If we lived closer to town, you'd still be driving it.
Absolutely.
It's just that it's a combination of the issues that we currently have with where we live, combined with the issues of range. So there you go. I thought you'd like to see that as an update. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll be breaking some normal content and bringing it to you. Can't speak today. We'll be making normal content and bringing it to you very shortly. But until then, thanks for joining me. Keep evolving.